So I'm going to give you some tips that I wish somebody would have told me and some things that I've learned. Number one, all this wood was free. It's 2-inch thick, mostly walnut. There was a piece of white oak there. It was from my hardwood store, and I've got a friend who works at a furniture store. So it might be different species of wood wherever you live, but for me, there is always extra wood at the hardwood store that they throw in a bin, or that my friend can get from the furniture store that he works at, or the furniture manufacturer. Next thing is, I think it's a good idea when you're starting out to get Harbor Freight tools or inexpensive tools like some you might find on Amazon also. The reason for this is a lot of times you don't know what your favorite tool is, so you're able to get more of a variety. So that circular saw you saw earlier, Harbor Freight. This angle grinder, Harbor Freight. The attachments for it, even the blade on the circular saw, Harbor Freight. I haven't had issues with them. And so, I think it's just a good idea when you're figuring out what you like. The next thing is, I think it's good to do projects that you can finish in one sitting. I'm doing this bowl it was about 49 minutes of footage that I had, and I took video of everything. So it took me about 49 minutes from start to finish to do this bowl. Next thing is I think it's a good idea to do some rustic stuff. Now, that might not be your style. You might like precision and things that look like they're machine made. I don't, and really the people that got me into woodworking don't. They liked reclaimed things. They like things that look like they're handmade. Yeah, forgive me for dropping it. And so when you see this finished product, a lot of you are probably not going to like it because it does look very rustic. There's a lot of gouges from specifically the angle grinder and that attachment that was just on it. The next thing is I think it's a good idea starting out too to get the assortment of Amazon sandpaper. I know it's not the best sandpaper, and I know there are others, and I've seen videos that you save time with the other ones. But man, when you're just starting out, it's great to get the multi-pack of different grits from Amazon, and I like it. They've worked well for me. So I started with 60 grit, worked all the way up to 240. And you can really spend as much time as you want, depending on how rustic you want it to be. I could have spent a lot more time and smoothed it out more, but my wife loved this walnut bowl, and I made it for a coworker as a super late Christmas present, and she loved it too. So don't be afraid to make things rustic and to make them just imperfect. I was not trying to make a perfect circle, obviously, and I really like the way this bowl turned out. The next thing is make sure you're using all the safety equipment. I took off the safety guard of that angle grinder. I shouldn't have, and I forgot to put it back on, so do not imitate that. Also, this platform is not very stable, so I should do something different. Make sure you've got a stable platform. The other thing is get the pad that goes in between your sandpaper and your sander. That way it can just go around curves better. It came in real handy here. Now, there's a lot of times if you're doing a tabletop, you don't want that sponginess. If you're doing an in-grain cutting board, you don't want that, because what I've noticed is that sponginess digs into the wood more and not so much the glue. So you can feel it as you put your hand across that in-grain cutting board. You can feel the glue in the joints because the sponginess didn't, it just took out more wood than the wood glue. And so you could definitely feel it instead of making it even because the sander wasn't completely flat due to the sponginess in between it and the sandpaper. The next thing is don't be afraid to finish things with mineral oil when you're starting out. It's super inexpensive. It's super easy. You just put it on, you let it soak in, and then you wipe it off. I've done coffee tables with it. And this is mineral oil. You can get it at almost any store, grocery store, drugstore, Dollar General. And it's a finish that you can see the wood. You really can't mess it up. And again, it's inexpensive. It's food safe. You could just, usually I try to use gloves, but I ran out. So I had to, just do it with my bare hands. Next thing is look at all those gouges. So every imperfection is definitely going to be accentuated once you put that oil on. But again, I was going for a rustic look. My wife was pleased. I'm going to make her one of these eventually, and my coworker was pleased. Now you're going to be shocked, but I only let this mineral oil set for like 5 minutes before I wiped it off. That's definitely not recommended. If you can, put it in a mineral oil bath and let it soak in for like an hour. But I was in a hurry. Again, it's okay to be quick, as long as to the average person it looks good. All right. So there it is, completely oiled. You know, it's not a very deep bowl, but it's a bowl I was able to do quickly, and I like it, and a lot of people like it. Man, you say that here's a rustic, solid walnut, black walnut bowl, and a lot of people like that. A lot of ladies especially. Now, it might be in the future that rustic is not so desirable, but I think people just get tired of the machine-made perfect stuff that you can just go get at a store for very cheap. They want something that looks like it's handmade. So again, I just let it soak in for about 5 minutes. Use the same paper towel that I just wiped my hand with. And I didn't try to get it completely dry because I knew more would soak in. I was just trying to get the majority of that oil off while I went to take a shower for my day job. So there it is. Let me know if you hated any of this. Let me know if any of these things I said were very helpful. Let me know what you think of the bowl. There we go. Man, I love black walnut.